All right, there you go.
Hi everyone, Sarah here from the Paper Cut. Thursday night, and first and foremost we make sure everybody's volume is off. I know I can see me, so Mom, how's your volume? Off? I can't hear me, so I think it is off. So anyways, happy Thursday. Oh, there we go. Okay, happy Thursday. Tonight, well, first of all, let's go through, I've got a craft along, or I previewed a craft along that's coming up August 13th in the Crafters Classroom. But we are going to go down to the table to look at that. So let's just go down to the table right away.
Okay.
So August 13th, we're going to do 2 cards. They're going to be the same. They're going to be these, and I don't exactly even know what they're called. And there's templates for them online. But I'll tell you, it was a little bit of a bugger to cut out. So everything's going to be pre-cut for you. So anyways, it's our shutter card. I think last week we did shutter cards. So this is a peekaboo shutter card. So I did put a band around it to keep it closed. I'll slide that off. These are pre-embossed. Unfortunately, I used an older embossing folder, and I looked online today a lot to see if I could find it because I was going to buy some. Yeah, and it's an old Cuttlebug one by Provo Craft, so some of you may have this one, but I did order a couple like newer ones. But anyways, that will be pre-embossed for you. It's just white on white. It's our shutter card, and you can see how that opens up. And it's kind of like a aperture type thing. So when it's closed, and you can see just a little bit in there, it's closed, and then that middle part opens up. So we'll be making 2 of these cards. I didn't design the other one yet because I am getting die cut. It will be a kit with the shutter card, with this piece, with 2 of these pieces, and I'm waiting to get the die made before I actually make another one. And then I'll probably also do a die where you can cut your own out, because when we do the kit, we'll probably do them in white. But I'll do a die that has this piece and this piece. And then it's our shutter card that we demoed last week. So anyways, that's coming up August 13th. That kit is online. You can order, oh, and in the kit, the class or the craft along kit, we're making 2 cards, but you're getting 3 extras of the card base, this piece, and this, but all in white. And then some extra papers that you can use to decorate with your own stamps and stuff. So anyways,
kind of like a camera
yeah, kind of like a camera. And there is a different one online that has one on the front that you kind of push down like this, and it opens up and it has like more pieces at angles. And I might do something with that too. This one I started with. So anyways, that is August 13th. The kit is $18. You can order 2 kits and still click on the drop down for the shipping and pay the first class shipping rather than the priority. So that'll be shipping in the beginning of August. So anyways, we have that coming up. But today we are talking about banded Z-fold cards. So we did these very early in the beginning of the year. So Z-fold, and there's 2 of them. There's the vertical. I should have written that on there. There's the vertical. So this one is the vertical. And this one is the horizontal. And I'm actually writing on the very back of the card. So, but the vertical, you know, it's vertical because it's vertical, and the other one's horizontal. So this is the back of the card. You fold in like a regular card, and then you fold back. And then it has a matching band that goes with it with kind of the same folds. But now the long part's in the front, and then your other 2 short scores are on the inside. And we'll go through that in a minute because I'm going to actually make one. But that's the vertical one. And then we have the horizontal, which is exactly the same except it's running more horizontal. So you fold in like a regular card, you fold back, and again it has the band to it. The one thing with and this is our steno card. It's just got an extra score in it. And it's also our Easel Card base. So the Easel Card base is the steno card with the extra score, and you can fold it like an easel. So that's the other way besides the Z, because here we see the Z. We can fold this the opposite way and attach a panel, which let's see, attach a panel here, and that is your easel card. So the banded Z fold card kind of is an easel card with an extra piece. So you could use it as, or you could even put layers on it and just use it as a regular steno card. So the banded Z fold has a few different uses to it rather than just doing it as the banded Z fold. But yeah, this is the horizontal. We're not going to do a horizontal today, so I'm just going to set that one aside. But you can see that the scores are exactly the same. It's just when you put the card together, you fold them exactly opposite. So, but let's get to that. So we're going to do the vertical today. And I am going to do both vertical banded, and we're going to make this one also into an easel card, which we do not have this shape of easel card. But again, it's our A2 card base with an extra score going down the center. But again, that package, you could use it as a banded Z fold. You could use it as an easel card, or if you put a layer over the front, you know, just kind of lock that score up, you could use it as just a regular scored card in a pinch. So we're going to put that aside. I think we're going to start with doing it as an easel card, and I did cut out some pieces, and I'm going to start with cream. So the pieces that I started with are pieces that will fit on these front panels, okay? And I just have an idea of what I'm doing, and I cut out some words, so like normal, I'm hoping that it works on camera. So I have these pieces that go on the front, and then this is from our Slimline wood and metal printed paper pack that I cut that out. That's for the inside. So, and I also cut out a whole bunch of trees, more than I need, because I was actually going to do this one as my banded Z fold. So I cut out a whole bunch of trees, and I don't need them because what I was going to do I wasn't digging it. So anyways, my panel, I was going to layer my trees on here, but I felt like they needed a little bit of color up here, so I'm going to put some mountains up there. So let's just go ahead, and I did die cut out a mountain. So I took a mountain, and I do this quite often, that I kind of use my die cuts as stencils. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to make some mountains in the background just by brush blending some sky over the top of my mountains. And I'm going to move my mountains around. Just to give some color back there, because I just felt like we needed some color behind the trees. And it's going to be a whole mountain range. It's not going to be as pretty as some mountain ranges, but that's okay. I just needed a little bit of something in the background back there. And I still haven't decided whether I want them on the bottom, but I think I need a little bit of blue on the bottom anyways. So just to add a little bit without mountains in there. So because that's going to be the bottom. Oh, and I have one of my sailboats from Saturday. Huh. Okay, we'll put that aside. But so now I'm just going to layer my pieces on here. Now you just have to be careful because the score is the top. So when I'm doing it, I just want to make sure my top pieces are attached there. And July is kind of it's not a bad month for me, but it's a big birthday month. So I have 2 birthdays that I need cards on Monday. And that would be our little grandbaby's mom, so my daughter-in-law, and Ron. So anyways,
On the same day, right?
on the same day. Yeah, so I'm kind of, the other card that I'm making has some glitter on it, and Kirsten's not a real glitter fan, but if the card works, I'll remake it without the glitter because she's not a glitter girl. I'm a glitter girl, but she's not a glitter girl. So, and this card could be either, but I could make it into a birthday card. And again, with making cards for everybody for all these years, sometimes it's hard to come up with different ideas that they haven't seen. And since the Banded Z fold is newer this year, I haven't used the Banded Z fold for birthday cards yet for my family. So that works out good.
And Sarah, do you really think they would remember?
I don't know. Josh might remember.
Josh, oh yeah,
Yeah,
Josh.
my youngest one would remember. So I'm going to put some trees on there and we're going to shade some trees. But I'm going to rip a little bit of brown for the bottom. So when I rip, I tend to hold, like I've seen people rip and, you know, some people just do it like that. I find it much easier if you kind of rip more controlled by your, you know, keeping your fingers together and walking them down. I think there's also some, I think there's something that you can actually hold down and rip against, and that probably works really nice too. So, but anyways, I like to hold my thumb and my forefinger next to each other and then just kind of rip because I can add some, you know, little hills if I want to. But that just works much easier, you know, than just kind of ripping. So, and you can add some shading if you want. Let's see. I think I do have a brown ink pad somewhere. Here we go. And I thought I had a sponge. I do, which I can add, you know, we can add a little bit of color at the edge. And when I'm putting this down, if I want to shove my trees underneath them, I can, you know, just put tape on the very bottom edge instead of on the whole thing, because then I can kind of shove my trees underneath them. So I have that. So yeah, I'm just going to put tape along the very bottom edge. So yes, I can shove my trees underneath.
Wendy Little has a metal edge that she bought some time ago to rip edges with more control.
I've seen that where you can buy something to actually have control when you're ripping. So now, when we're attaching pieces to the front, and I might add a little color to my trees, but what's very important is that you only put tape on the bottom section. Because if I put tape at the top, I'm going to tape my card flat. So we want to be able to go like this with it. So we want to only put tape at that very bottom edge. But I did pull out a green ink pad, and let's add a little bit of shading to our trees. Now this you could do, you know, with a little Q-tip type applicator if you wanted. Or you could do it with a blending brush, or you could do it with a sponge. Trees are not real, you know, don't have to be real perfect. So, because, yeah, trees are just trees. But you can add as much color to them as you want. But yeah, it just kind of gives a little bit of dimension to the trees to add a little bit of shading to them. So they don't just look like a flat tree. You know, I could make the bottoms of them brown too. I think I have a brown marker here from the weekend. So I'm going to do that with a few different trees. And then you can cut your trees off. You know, if you can't shove them down in there far enough, you can actually cut them off a little bit. So, okay, my little scissors, I don't know where it is. We'll just grab one of them. Oh, there it is. Buried. Imagine that. But yeah, we can just kind of set our trees in there, put a little bit of tape behind, or you can use foam tape, which I need to thank June Lakowski. She sent me some more of these little fun foam tape strips. I need to ask her where these are from, because I really like these. They're already like pre-cut for you. So I think my back trees I'm going to put down with just a little bit of adhesive. And since I'm an ATG lover, and I'm pretty controlled with my ATG, I'm just going to start with that. But yeah, you only want tape on that bottom half because you don't want to tape your card shut. And then some of the ones that I might do on the front, I will pop those up with foam tape.
Do you have all those tree dies, Sarah?
The tree dies are from, I believe these are Impression Obsession tree dies. So I don't have a whole lot of decorative dies. I just started with some words and stuff last year, and this year I haven't done a whole lot of new dies, which I was just thinking I'm gonna start kitting for our warehouse sale, and I need to get going here with some more words, and maybe I'll actually venture out to some more decorative ones. But no, these are Impression Obsession. It's a set of 3. One, that one's upside down. One, 2, and then there's a smaller one, actually, that's the medium one. I don't know if, oh, here's the smaller one. I had some kind of crepey paper, which is what that is. So, but yeah, there's 3 different sizes. So 1, 2, 3 different sizes. Which, yeah, those are kind of nice. I'm going to make this one up a little bit higher. It might stick up over the top of my card, and that's okay. But again, I want to make sure to only put tape on the very bottom edge, because I don't want to tape my card flat. So then when I pop it up, I can still you know, this top part is not fully attached. I'll just put a couple more trees on, and then we'll move on, because I do have a word that I'm going to put on there. This one I might do a little bit darker so it pops up, and this one I am going to pop up with some foam tape. But yeah, I like coloring them around them, just so you add a little bit more dimension rather than just having your flat paper. So that one I'll pop up with a little bit of foam tape. And again, be cautious of where that's going to land. Okay, and I can add more trees after, because yes, I have plenty of trees. I'll probably be saving these for something else. But I did do a word. I did a few different words because I wasn't sure what I was gonna use, but I am gonna put a word right here. And I might actually take my green around here. I'm going to use a sponge. I do like using a sponge. You can get a little bit narrower of a border than with a blending brush. And a little bit softer. Okay, and I think I'm going to pop that up. All right, I'm going to be generous with my foam tape. And we're backing that with a little bit of hot fudge. And then I'm going to pop this up also. Now, when I pop it up, again, I don't want to put it on this top panel because then it's going to be on the back of the card. So I am going to pop it up off the front panel and just on the bottom.
Sarah, do you use any certain type of ink for this card or for the trees?
I just used a dye-based ink. I actually used the Impression Obsession Olive. And the paper that I used was Jelly Bean Green and Factory Green. Those are the lighter one was Factory Green, the darker one was Jelly Bean Green. And then the olive ink pad. Just a dye-based ink pad. I'm sure some of you have a whole array of ink pads, so anything that's in that olivey ever tone. So when I put this on, I am going to overlap my trees. And I just put tape on the very bottom, and I'm going to make sure to attach that below my score. Because then when it pops up, that's what you're seeing. So now I could add a little tree down here. That would be cute. On the inside, I did use our tree, which this is from our printed paper pack. Matches perfectly to one of our new papers, which is called Bright Brown. It's the Lesabo color collection. It's in 13 colors. And look at how great that matches. I just realized that today, that the browns on there match perfectly. And then with the dark hot fudge, it layers really well. So let me layer that together. And I already cut these to, I think 4 by 5 1/4 is my biggest, and then 3.75 by 5, and then from the printed paper pack, 3.5 by 4 3/4, I think. But the wood grain from the tree went really well with the trees on the front of the card. So now I'm going to put that on the inside of the card. Oops, I just spun my card around, so now I got to make sure that I'm doing it right. Oops, there we go. Now, for the inside, for the easel card, you want something that is going to make it pop up. So whatever you put on the inside, you want to layer it with foam tape behind it. You know, and I kind of coordinated those colors. Now I'm going to either be thankful every day or follow your dreams. I think I'm going to do follow your dreams. And I have a little piece of hot fudge right here that I'm just going to attach that. And you need something that's popped up to catch the front of that. Now I've used buttons in here. I've used pieces of paper popped up with foam tape. You could do a shape. I'm going to do my word. I'm going to do my sentiment. Oh, I'm going to get a big scissors out. Normally I'd probably cut this on a paper trimmer, but we're just going to go for it. There we go.
You said dye-based inks, right?
Yeah, dye-based inks. So now we're going to pop this up so it can catch the front lip of that. So I'm going to use a pretty decent amount of foam tape. And I could use a double layer of foam tape if I wanted to. But I think just the single layer will be fine. And depending on where you want your, how much of an angle you want that to pop up at. So right now, once it's opened, it can sit just like that. And then it can close like that. On the inside, which I was going to bring a gift card in here with me, but I forgot. Because you could always take, like if you used it for an easel card instead of a band, you can always, and I'm pretty sure a gift, Mom, do you have a credit card? Not
sure.
that I'm going to spend money.
Okay.
I just want to see something.
Here. You just have to be a credit card? Can it be
No,
a
it
gas
can be
card?
it can be a gas card.
Okay.
It can be any card.
Okay.
And I won't show the numbers.
But
They're not all
there
gonna
aren't
be
any
like-
numbers on that card.
Oh, it's a quick trip card. These just, well, you could put it on the inside. Because I was thinking that one of these cards would fit in here, and you could take your band and you could make a little pockety thing for it to fit in. So if you take your band and you're not using it anyways and you cut it up, then you could put tape on the ends. See how I just took one of the scores and then I folded it over? But this could be like a little gift card holder on the inside. And you could put a little, you could put your message on there also. So anyways, it could be like this. They open it up and say, "Oh, I got a gift card." They pull the gift card out and then they can set it, on their counter or
Give that
wherever
to
they
Josh.
want.
Oh.
So here's your card back.
Right.
But yeah, if you're not using the band, you could use it as a little gift card holder on the inside, and I put it on there crooked. But yeah, I was like, what else could you use that band for? A little gift card holder. Just to keep your gift card in place. So anyways, that is the vertical banded Z-fold made into an easel card. But let's actually now make a vertical banded Z-fold. So let's set this one aside, out of the way for a minute. Okay, so vertical banded Z-fold. I had one out here. Hang on a second, I have to find it. Okay, people. Well, here's the band. And here is, oh, I have it. I had my one that I had writing on. So anyways, so our vertical banded Z-fold again has two scores, one that folds into an A2 and then one that folds back. And then we have our band, which folds the opposite way. So right now we have our longer part on the inside. On our band, our longer part is going to be on the front, and then it just Z's the other way so it can attach like that. But I'm going to attach some of our layers first. So I have a piece of printed paper and I cut it two different ways. So I can attach my printed paper, because I'm using a lighter weight printed paper, right over the top of my score, or I can do my pieces and attach those and then pieces of my printed paper. So I don't know if that's going to be too much green, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to fold my printed paper right over the top. So let's do that. Let's attach that. Now you could still do this with a piece of cardstock. You might want to pre-score it, like on a scoreboard or score pad, which again, because a lot of my stuff is already scored here, I don't even own one. So I think I'm one of the last people that do not own a scoreboard or a score pal. But just using a lighter weight piece of paper I can just...
I have one of those
do you?
scoreboards. Yeah, and it's hiding back here someplace.
So this is a piece of one of our new stocks. And it's a purple, and purples are kind of hard with paper companies right now. And it does kind of like match some of the purplies that are in here. But I am going to stamp it really quick, and I'm going to add another purple on top of it, just to give it a small pattern. Again, one of the Impression Obsession background stamps with their mega mount. I'm going to start it really close to the edge. I'm going to rock it forward and then roll it up to get my pattern on there. And then I'm going to attach to that back layer. Now, any of your main layers you want to attach before you attach your band, because once your band is there, it's hard to attach these big layers. Oops.
Your desk is like mine. Things seem to move on their own. Yeah, right.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so now I have my band. A lot of the times I will put colors over the top of the band, but I kind of know what I'm doing, so I'm going to actually put color behind my band. And this is one of the new stocks too. It's called Strong Lime, and it's a really pretty green. I'm just going to attach my scored band right over the top of it and then fold it. I didn't give myself much room though, did I? Maybe I want it wider, but I'm just going to leave it. I thought I had made it a little bit wider so you could see a little bit more of the green. But, oh well. Oh, I must have been wider on this end than that end. That's okay. So now I am going to bend on my scores. And again, bone folder might be nice.
I have one of those too. You don't know what I'm stashing over there on that desk.
You're probably stashing a lot. So now, when we attach this, it doesn't matter. We can start with this side or the front. But when you're doing this front section, you only want to put tape on half. So you only want tape on about 2 inches, because that is all that's attached. Okay, if you go too much further, you're going to attach it to this panel, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to right now just put tape, because I know I can put tape on this whole panel. I'm just going to start on that back. And you can put this anywhere you want. I'm just going to put it about 1 inch up. But really, you can do it wherever you want.
I bet you're wondering how come a lady who doesn't do any rubber stamping and scrapbooking has all this equipment.
Because she used to have a store.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So now I can just kind of fold my card and attach it. And there we have our band. And I cut out some words. So I have my word happy, birthday. So I know my birthday is going on here for sure. Okay, because that birthday fits perfect right there. So let's get that on there. And then we're going to talk about the balloons that are going to attach to it. Because there's kind of a trick. You kind of have to think about where you're attaching things. And my sheet is getting way used in dots. I think I've said that every time I've used that lately. Like, I really need to pull out a different one, but I just like to make sure every little speck is off of there. So that word birthday fits perfectly across there. I do have a little dot. I'm not going to lose it, but so balloons. So I don't have the balloon strings. I actually have string. I couldn't find, I know I have a balloon string die, but I couldn't find it at the moment. So when we attach a balloon, and I'm just going to use a piece of acetate right now to attach balloons. That's what I was planning on anyways. You can use, depending on what you're attaching, you could use toothpicks or whatever. But I'm going to use a piece of acetate, and I will attach my string. Actually, let's do that right away. I don't know if I feel dexterous enough to tie my string around here. Oh, I'll try. Fine. I should have put tape on the back of it before I started futzing with the string.
By the way, talking about equipment that I have, how is that trimmer working?
I didn't pull it out yet for Becky to use it.
Yeah. Hey Becky, if you're watching.
Yeah. Hey Becky, if you're watching, I'm going to make you start using a new trimmer. So if I'm attaching this to this panel, and I just want to show this really quick, but if I'm attaching it to, and I probably need 2 pieces of acetate, but or a firmer, actually that looks pretty good, but if I'm attaching it to this middle panel right here, when the card closes, see how you're seeing the back of the balloon? What's nice with these balloons is that they kind of fit back to back. So not everything does. So because these are white on one side, colored on the other, I cut them both out facing this direction, and they still work nice back to back. If they don't, sometimes you have to cut one out facing the glitter up and one out facing the white up in order for them to fit back to back. But then when I put that in here, if I'm seeing green, even when it's closed, I'm seeing a color. Okay, so you kind of have to think about that a little bit, because you don't want to see the back of something if it's attached to this panel right here. So let's put the green one on there. I'm probably going to attach more balloons, but I just want to get this started. And I wanted to make sure to show you that when attaching to this panel right here. And I might actually attach my string so it's not as floppy. I actually think I need a firmer piece of acetate, which now I did have some in my office, but now I'm thinking maybe I should carry the firmer acetate, so then your stuff
pretty.
can not flop. So what was that, Mom?
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
So I put tape on there because that's attaching to the back. And then when I close it, see how it attaches? It's right there. And I'm going to trim off my acetate that goes beyond the bottom. And I'm probably going to put some glue on there to hold my string in place. Okay, that's not going to dry, and I'm not going to do that right now. But yeah, I'm going to put some glue on there to hold my string in place, and that will also help firm it up. But my happy is going to go right here, and I want a balloon kind of going up here. So I do have a couple more balloons. So, but yeah, I think I need a firmer acetate or 2 things of acetate right here. Or a toothpick would work too if I put a toothpick to hold it up straighter. So hang on, let's get to another set of balloons. And this is a color of glitter that I hadn't used before too. I can't remember what that one's called. I think this one's Magenta Marble. But let's just tape these 2 together. And because this one I am going to have a piece of acetate on it, but it's actually going to adhere to up there, so I don't really need it as much. Or at all. I'm not sure if I need it. And I probably don't even need to back this one because it's going to sit going up this way. But I do want a little string. I'm running over my time, so I apologize. But we'll finish up here shortly. But yeah, the banded Z-folds are nice just because you can use them a few different ways. You don't have to think, oh, I have to do this banded Z-fold. You could use them as an easel card, or in a pinch, you just use them as an A2 card and cover that layer up. Or cover that score up with a layer. Okay, so yeah, now we have this that we're going to attach. Now, you don't want tape hanging out, so if you have any tape, because I can feel a little bit of tape behind there, and this I'm going to pop up with a little bit of foam tape, which I do have a little piece cut right here. But again, when you're attaching it, you don't want your foam tape to be running off the edge. And if there's any tape right here, you need to make sure to cover that up. I'm going to attach my happy on there also. Oh, and this was bad, Sarah. Hang on a second, I'll show you why. Because I do have this hanging off, which I could also use a piece of acetate to cover that up. When I was putting adhesive on there, I should not have gone that far over. But even with a little bit of acetate behind there, it'll help keep that firmed up a little bit. Okay, so now we have our happy birthday. I need to trim this one off. This one, I do need to firm this one up, but I am going to tape down my thing. And then I did have my one more set of words for the inside. And I have Wish Big for the inside. So this is, yeah, kind of a glittery card, which I'm going to have to redo this one without the glitter for Kirsten, because it's probably too much glitter. I'll keep it as one of my samples. Usually I make cards for the kids or whoever, and I don't always make a second sample. So this time I'll have a second sample.
Are you going to sell your woods and metals paper pad in the 6x6 size too?
I was thinking about it. Do you guys want a 6x6 size? So I think you do. So yeah, I could probably do that. So anyways, yes, we have our that, and then when you open it up, then you have that. So that's our banded Z-fold card that you can turn into a easel card. let's pull our easel card out here. So there we have our vertical banded Z-fold card, but also as a easel card. So thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Bye.